Hey, it's Mr. B here. So in lieu of Cyberpunk 2077 giving me a rather disappointing Pacifist run, I decided to go back to my old Cyberpunk playground of Deus Ex, with a specific goal in mind, as in be a Deus Ex game without ever fighting back. By this I mean no takedowns, no guns, not even hacking computers to make turrets shoot at people. For this run, I'll be playing Deus Ex Mankind Divided, the latest entry in the series. Also, I'm not the best at stealth either, so this is what I will be calling an unsubtle true pacifist run. A step up from a normal pacifist run. There's already a pacifist achievement in the game that I got a while back, and you earn this by never killing anyone, and only using non-lethal weapons and knockouts. So this new true pacifist run will be a completely new experience to me. This will also be a New Game Plus run of one of my previous saves. So pardon me if I'm a bit more decked out than I should be at the start. This playthrough is entirely for experimental purposes, to see if we can complete the game without ever causing harm to anyone. We'll also be playing on normal for just a nice spice of challenge. Or more so to punish me if I decide to just sprint through a war zone like a madman. Which if I am going to be unsubtle, that may end up happening a lot. But before I begin, if you're new to my channel, feel free to subscribe. My goal is to hit 1,000 subs this year, so I'd appreciate your support in making that happen. Anyway, let us begin. Also, a small warning if you don't want spoilers. I don't recommend watching this. Game's been out and in the bargain bin for almost 4 years, so why haven't you played it yet? Anyway, we're on our mission to Dubai. We have a gun in our hand at the start, but I vowed never to use it. I sincerely promise. This is for science, after all. But this starting level is a great tutorial showing you all the ins and outs of a Deus Ex game. They show you some platforming, making you realize there's some verticality and maybe a hidden path for you to sneak around almost everywhere in the game. Heck, even when I replay the game, I feel like I'm finding new paths I've never seen before and definitely could have taken. Then it also shows you a hacking minigame, which we'll be doing a lot of, because we certainly won't be getting the keycards off of the bodies this run, so we'll need to open doors the hard way. Thankfully, with our New Game Plus character decked out, that will be easy enough for us to accomplish. The game also shows you takedowns, how to remain stealthy, drag bodies, to hide them, and so on. We won't be doing any of that this run, so we'll just skip it for now. But going on, we have a side mission to disable a transmitter in Dubai, which actually will have story effects later on as well. Now, I'm not the best at these stealth games, so, oops. Let's just say we'll be having a lot of this, so I'll try my best to speed things up as much as possible for you. We continue on with our first mission, knocking out comms to add cover to our mission, and then things go south as a third party attacks. Thankfully, I can use the cover of this firefight to just dive right in onto the objective and trigger a cutscene ending the chaos immediately.
Miller, chopper's been grounded. Repeat.
Jensen!
Afterwards, we are then shipped to Prague for our next assignment, and we have the unfortunate timing of arriving right before a terrorist attack blows the station up.
Am I ever gonna meet this guy?
Someday, maybe. Right now you need to concentrate on Miller and find a way to access the NSN's other...
Unfortunately, our augment systems take a hit as we wake up the next day and we need to go see the doctor.
Dr. Kohler, I need to pay you a visit.
Jensen! Now's actually a really good time for me, like right now!
Something wrong?
There are some guys in my bookshop. Pissed off the valley gangster-looking guys.
But our doctor pissed off the mafia and is having to pay for not paying protection money. So this begins another test of our pacifism run. We unfortunately cannot talk our way out of this one. We can, however, attempt to sneak around, but as I suck at sneaking, we gotta dash through another battlefield hoping for the best. Our doctor is using this bookstore as a front for their medical operation below.
Jensen, my favorite techno wonderkind. Sorry about the goons, man. They didn't give you too much trouble, did they?
And we get to our checkup and find out we're about to have a meltdown from our augments going haywire.
What?
Oh, thank God. Take it easy. I swear I didn't mean to... Your retinal display should be back soon. You can still move, right?
Where did you...
I was trying to connect the unconnected. but you got some strange fucking ogs back there. I mean, I probably shouldn't have. Here, let me get you some water. Or something stronger, maybe?
Water.
You got it, Jensen. Just ease out. Don't freak out. Rebooting was the only way to save you.
Save me from what, Kohler?
Core meltdown. You almost melted my chair. So I reset you, and I found these, I think it's better if I show you what I found. Turns out your Factory Zero is not the standard Factory Zero.
What am I looking at?
Experimental fucking test dogs, man. Hidden inside your body.
Turns out we have experimental augments inside of us that are making our system go nuts. Thanks to our new Game Plus perks, we really don't have to do the side quest to stabilize our systems, but we're going to do it anyway. So as we continue, I also want to mention that Deus Ex is what I would call a small-scale open-world game. There are a few districts that the main story takes place in, and we are free to roam about it as we wish. There are a lot of nooks and crannies, each with their own secrets or goodies to loot, and I might add that the detail of Prague is pretty amazing. Almost everything is handcrafted and unique. The Eastern city block designs mixed with the cyberpunk holographics and really add some needed flair to what would just be modern-day European housing. And you can walk into so many buildings too with their own unique interiors, secrets, and everything. Heck, this one shopkeeper just lets me into his store despite jumping over his counter, which is pretty cool.
Come in, come in.
Thanks, shopkeep. There's so much detail put into this game that is genuinely astounding, and I think the folks should take an adventure in the cyberpunk version of Prague, just because it's an impressive piece of work for this game. But anyway, I find a shop that's open, and I decide to further submit myself as doing a pacifist run, and sell all my weapons to a vendor. All of them. Even the ammo. The only things on my hotkeys are going to be multi-tools, which hack things for when you can't stand up or hack it yourself, hypostems, which heal me, painkillers, which increase my HP until I get shot, and biocells, which recharge my battery for augment use. In some ways, this pacifist run is kind of nice because all the weapons we'll be picking up can either be scrapped or sold, so money will never be an issue for us in this game. Especially since we don't really need to buy the expensive Praxis kits this run since it's New Game Plus. But going on, we do our secret agent stuff of using a hidden elevator into our headquarters. And this feeling you get of being a secret agent really strikes a good chord with me. Like there's genuinely not enough spy/secret agent games out there that do stuff like this. I used to love the James Bond games like Agent Under Fire and Nightfire and GoldenEye, but everybody talks about that one, because these games made you feel like a secret agent with a trick up your sleeve to solve tricky situations. And these spy/stealth games are really scarce. I feel like I could probably name all spy series I know of off of one hand. We have Metal Gear Solid, 007, Deus Ex, and Sly Cooper, why not? There, didn't even fill up a whole hand. But my statement stands, the spy games are woefully scarce, and I don't understand why. Anyway, let's carry on with the story. In this game, we are playing a double agent to a degree, working with a hacker collective and our own task force. Doing a little bit of spying on them because we believe they're in cahoots with the Illuminati. And I'm serious, Deus Ex has been using the Illuminati as a key plot point in its series before it became a meme. But also, expect a lot of triangles. It's literally in the art style of the game a lot of the time. But because we're curious, I decided to do a few side quests with my true pacifist style, which would amount to basically doing nothing other than talking. And if I can't talk my way out of problems, well, we run out of there because I have a nap. Unfortunately, we cannot do all side quests, because they do involve neutralizing or knocking some individuals out, which goes against our true pacifist code. This actually ended up in me facing some repercussions for my inaction. I got involved with the mob, talking to them to get medical supplies that they were holding for that doctor in the early game, but they wanted a favor, as they wanted me to assassinate somebody or knock out somebody and capture them. I refused to do their dirty work, so in turn they killed the doctor who helped me out in the beginning, so
It was a simple task, what I ask of you, Mr. Jensen.
Murder, abduction. Your favors might seem simple to a criminal, but they don't to me.
My son is upset. Now she refuses to deal with me, which also makes me upset. I gave you what that shithead Kohler wanted, and you give me nothing. In truth, you have taken an opportunity away from me, Mr. Jensen. Now it is my turn. Mr. Jensen.
Why are you calling me, Otar? The last time we spoke, you said we were done.
I also said I would teach you a lesson. You behaved dishonorably, and treachery has a price.
Jensen? Jensen!
Kohler!
He was wrong to trust you, just as I was. Neither of us will make that mistake again.
If you ever want a peaceful life, kids, don't get involved with the mob. Rest in peace, Dr. Kroller. There was also one side quest where I may have unintentionally set up an accident with a character to knock them out, by having them shoot gas containers I was holding as cover, right in front of their face. Totally accidental, right? But I continue with the story and actually managed to get through a majority of the game without ever engaging in combat. Which, honestly, is really impressive. The only time I ever had to start breaking the true pacifist rules was when I got to the grand finale. In the finale, you're at a big old corporate party which I literally needed to knock out guards which had a key card I needed to proceed. But even so, they give you non-lethal options to do so, making it so you don't have the regret of killing somebody. So with me hitting this unfortunate barrier, we just decide to have a big old sleepover in the bathroom stall, because those are the best parties in this game. Afterwards, we find our task force director on his last breath, and we're confronted with fighting the final boss or saving a bunch of CEOs about to drink poison. The final boss threatens us to a challenge or else he will blow up some skyscrapers nearby. So me, being a man of the people, let the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. And because of a certain choice we made during our run, we got an item that lets us disable his detonator. So he's left helpless as we've foiled his plan, and angrily locks us in the arena. But as the pacifist cowards we are, we decide to sneak in and around that arena and find a computer that can unlock that arena door for us. If you do this and run for it, you are also able to save the CEOs before they are poisoned. And the CEOs are kind of important, because if they die, millions of augmented people in this game are going to die, or at least be in jeopardy, as warned from our hacker collective. As we escape, the final boss is not happy with us running away from him, throwing taunts as we head towards the CEO's office.
You are a coward, Adam Jensen. Come back, face me. Let us end this like warriors! You think because you saved the towers that you have stopped me? You have only delayed the inevitable. Let us finish this now! Come back here, Adam Jensen. We must finish this. You have stopped nothing!
I was personally hoping we could have just avoided the final boss altogether, but we'll have to confront him eventually. The best way to beat him is to throw an EMP grenade in his vicinity and do a quick non-lethal takedown. Essentially a 1-2 punch, because augments get hecked by EMP. We are then able to look upon all the lives we saved tonight and enjoy our ending. I was honestly genuinely impressed with the ability to get this far with only doing a mixture of sneaking, sprinting around, and just plain avoiding combat. Literally no shots fired, never killed a soul, and never had to harm one until the final stages of the game. Unfortunately though, I confess, this is not the best way to play the game. You are capable of saving people, like that poor doctor we got killed by the Mafia, and it does break down to that tough decision of breaking your oath of pacifism or seeing people suffer. So obviously we commit to the greater good and make it so only a few bad people suffer by getting punched in the face, then letting them bomb a skyscraper. It's a pretty obvious example of the old trolley cart situation, but technically everybody lives thanks to me doing non-lethal options. Except poor Dr. Kroller, because the Mafia sucks! But honestly, I think the open-endedness of Deus Ex and it having so many ways to play it makes it a great series overall. Even despite it being more focused on the action aspect of things in the last 2 installments, but that's really modern-day marketing for you. And sure, the games aren't a massive open world, and it doesn't have a massive city to explore like in Cyberpunk 2077, but at least it doesn't bite off more than it can chew. Besides, the smaller scale focus on them doing just a handful of districts and story set pieces makes the game a lot more fleshed out and more detailed for others to enjoy. That plus the multiple ways to play like stealthy, loud, lethal, or non-lethal, along with unique story and side quests that can end in a multitude of ways based on how you played, gives this game a lot of replayability. Overall, Deus Ex Mankind Divided gets a big ol' thumbs up from me. It's truly a good game and well worth your time, though I do suggest you play the previous installment, Deus Ex Human Revolution, so you're not too lost during the recap. Despite the recap being a whopping 14-minute long video before your game starts. I'm glad they filled in the holes, but hot dang, that is a huge patch job to watch just for explaining the story. So I genuinely think just play the prior installment anyway. It's mainly the same game in comparison. And unfortunately, I've heard the series might have been shelved yet again. I personally hope Square Enix will realize Deus Ex is a series of potential. The popularity of Cyberpunk and kind of buggy, lukewarm success of it, I guess, may make them realize that Cyberpunk is a popular genre that people want more of. Anyway, I think that'll do it for this video. Hope you enjoyed my almost full True Pacifist playthrough of Deus Ex. It was a fun experiment, to be honest. As per the usual banter, like if you liked, subscribe if you want more, yell at me in the comments if you got complaints, I'm open to feedback, or tell me what you liked so I can keep doing it. This is Mr. B, and I'm peacing out for now, dude. Bye-bye.